the main activities are to bring ICT into all sectors of Suriname, but most of all in the educational sector, because information is one of the most devaluating things in today, and if you don't get it for everybody, you may have problems in your development. We have trained more than 30,000 people, and that speeds up the literacy program for computer and ICT in Suriname tremendously. We have trained school-going people, and for example, on the secondary level, 100% of the students are trained, are literate, and we have set up a full infrastructure, ICT and a delivery system, the Blackboard system, where we put courses of every kind. First we started with the educational content, but now we are doing agriculture, health, safety, and all of these things are going there into courses. We even have programs for HIV, and together with the region, we have to set up different communication platforms for different issues. We use VSATs to go to the remote areas, and then there we can spread the signal in a village and deliver educational content, medical content, and all these things, and agriculture courses to the people of the village.
Important developments for us have been our EduTech program, which is an education program which is aimed and targeted at school-aged children, where they have not only the access to technology but to the networks. They're given the equipment to carry home, so it means they go home, they teach their parents, and it's a rippling effect, and not only getting at the knowledge that they can tap, but also the fact that it's bringing the technology closer to the people.
We are looking at a new economic system, and to have a new economic system, we have to have the type of expertise and skills from the people. The new ICT strategy now would be starting with smart schools. Smart schools meaning using a web-based technology, information communication technology, as the platform upon which web-based tutelage is now the medium through which we learn. Before, Ivan, we had to adopt, change, try to influence different places that, ICT is the thing to do. The banking system was hard to change because they had their own systems. We couldn't pay bills online, and there were a lot of conversations and meetings as to how we do that. At this stage, since it's not there, and we are going forward, then it's easier to put in the infrastructure and the backbones that are necessary to have the e-business concept be more feasible.
It is clear that from an economic development standpoint, the jobs of the future are the knowledge-based jobs. Even in China, they're seeing shrinkage in manufacturing jobs. And if we are really trying to become first world by 2020, we have to wrestle with some of these problems to make sure that access to information both ways, whether it's people doing research or buying goods and products and services from Trinidadian companies, or vice versa, whether it's Trinidadian companies or academics trying to access important information to take their a level of understanding to a different level. It's very, very important that we do that, and we do that quickly at an affordable level. And the only way to do that without actually having the state intervene and subsidize is to create a truly competitive environment.
Antigua just did not have the capacity for manufacturing, where you needed a large labor force. So what happened then was that the decision was made to focus attention on those services and those industries which didn't require as large a labor force but still provided significant benefit. And with the growing of the internet gaming industry, it then translated into, well, focus on an IT-centric industry.
The ICT initiative really has helped us mainly in terms of wider exposure, using like the internet, for example. Most of our recordings are done on location. And unlike studio recordings, when you can do multi-tracking and stuff, we have to depend on recording large steel orchestras mainly outdoors. And it's therefore important to be able to capture all the nuances of a particular performance. The Pan in Education project, in fact, is using digital technology in many ways. This is a double CD, all right, which comprises the music of Mark Loquan, one of our local composers. We have 13 steel bands playing six-minute arrangements of his music, all done by top arrangers in the country. So one CD will be simply the music, all right, for people who want to listen, for the pleasure of listening. The other CD, however, contains digital files, which will enable students who have Finale programs or they can access PDF files as well. These files contain all the scores of the 13 arrangements.
Piracy on the internet presents a major challenge, but at the same time I think the challenge is for us to come up with new business models for generating wealth on the internet. And in fact, what we've started doing is, in fact, COT has been issuing online licenses to websites, both in Trinidad and Tobago as well as overseas, whereby the operators of these sites actually pay us royalties for music that is either streamed or as well music that's downloaded over the internet. Another area is the whole question of digital rights management, and that is the use of technology, for example, to prevent persons from copying copyright-protected material on the internet. Another aspect of digital rights management is actually transmitting data regarding ownership, information with respect to who is the artist, who is the songwriter, who is the music publisher, what's the record label. All that information can be transmitted online, and that in turn will mean that the work that's being used is being able to identify, and therefore the royalties will be payable to the right parties, and that again enhances our wealth capacity in the region. I think that ICT presents a great opportunity for us, and I think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. I think the challenge for us is to open up new paradigms, to think of new ways of delivering content over secure means through the internet. We have to look at subscription models. We can't be afraid of the internet. We have to use it to our advantage to ensure that our works are distributed online and that we get the royalties, the returns as a result.
The aim is by 2008 to have Trinidad and Tobago become a knowledge-based society that is exploiting the opportunities offered by ICT, which is Information Communications Technology, to develop our people economically, socially, and to help government as well. This year we have very specific development kind of projects. They're design and foundation projects for a larger rollout. And they include projects like the piloting of a government portal, a community access project which will pilot 3 or 4 community access centres, We have an e-commerce pilot as well to say how can we get small and medium-sized enterprises online. We also have a promotion and awareness project, which is intended to develop a strategy to make sure that this is not a top-down approach, but actually engender support from Trinidad and Tobago as a society in saying that this is a way that we should move forward. And we've got a promotion and awareness strategy for right now that has got a couple of our celebrities involved in promoting Fast Forward as an agenda and as basically a movement to get us going. We've got David Rudder, who's done a jingle for us and an advertisement that we've played during ICC cricket. And we also have, during the Olympics, we played Daryl Brown and George Bovell in a couple of different advertisements that showed basically how young people and how sportsmen can use technology to benefit their own performance. So it's looking at ICT and saying, it's not ICT for the sake of the technology, but it's using the technology and exploiting the technology to create opportunities, whether it's in sports, in the creative arts, in telecommunications, in commerce, in government, to exploit those opportunities to progress.